Actually got a response after spent the last episode editing the previous episode from 50 minutes down to 25, just in case they got one of these people that answered me saw it. I didn't want them to have to watch the whole 50 minutes, and he actually did. I saw the video you posted, and what I meant is require params name, request parameter. Yeah, I kept calling it require yesterday. It's request at this point, request response. Requested parameter name is deprecated. Instead, you should use, okay, they're adding an S, but they also, I didn't notice when I was doing it yesterday, they took out the parentheses. So your brain kind of interprets this stuff like hieroglyphs or any kind of character. It doesn't want to sit there and focus on every little font all the time. So once it gets a recognition, it's just an optical illusion in your brain. Once it thinks it knows what it's reading, it leaves out characters. Your brain just filters them, and you read right over them. So just be aware of that. Sometimes it's like I've heard it called the $1,000,000 semicolon, because you have some people with big pay staring at the screen and can't see what's right in front of them. And sometimes you just need a fresh set of eyes, but I think that's what happens is the brain filters out what you're. Anyways, should use this, so it's got the S and no parentheses. And here he's noticing that I did use the parentheses. Also, what I'm suggesting in the code above is two handlers, which is more what we covered in the previous when I did the TW route. Takes you to the TW or the TW route. Yeah, the TW route takes you to the TW function. What he's talking about is a route for each function. We've also picked up the concept of a variable in the route. Maybe that is. Okay. Also, okay, this is where he talks about the variable. So let's go back over this outside Windows 10. This blue box in the middle is the Windows 7. Can make it, there we go. So there's Windows 10 in the back, and then this is this is Windows 7. Okay, let's go into choose brackets and go into chapter 3 there. I already have it open. If we can look at our files over here. It was 3.2. Okay. Nope. Okay, it's more about the chaining. It's still getting to the same function has name. Not really. I mean, it is, but it's the chaining's in the if else. Let's do this. Let's pull out the code he's showing us and put them side by side. What the computer's good at automating. Let's get his response. Do I have it on the 7 machine? No. Let's just get it from the 10. Maybe time to replace my batteries on this mouse. It's acting a little jittery. Okay. The mouse pad, it's the mouse. Got some other batteries here. Try and keep handy so I can spot them. Also got some we could throw on the recharger. That might be better. Make sure I got something charging. Code live. Gotta replace the batteries at some point. It's all part of the job. Let's see. Is that any more fluid? Yeah, it feels better already. Okay. I'm trying to remember to put some on the charger between episodes. Load the Express module. Create a new Express application. Let's just do a compare. I don't see anything. Let's see where I know it there should be. Oh, did I not put his in? Oh, I guess I did. Let's try this again. I'm probably gonna have to do it as a new file anyways. Maybe you can't compare a file to itself. It's more like a state machine. Being dumb. Alright, let's put it here. Do I have to save it, or can we just go ahead and compare it? I've been wondering what that button does. Throw this over there. Oh, where'd that go? Okay. That's fine. We still need to save this somewhere. And that would throw it over there. Okay. I'm gonna do a file. Save as. We'll call this. What will we call this? We'll call this. Get in the right spot first. Now I'm probably gonna end up deleting this soon, or not. Let's not. Let's just go ahead and put it in here. We'll call this. It's part of 3.2 server Stack Overflow response. That'll do. So we'll just leave that in there, and now let's compare those two. It don't have the let's try this again. It needs the extension to get the highlighting, to get the, there we go, so it knows what language to interpret it as. Now let's compare those two. That's what I was looking for. So he's rewriting quite a bit of it looks like. And that's why I liked the other answer. It was less changes to the code. And it's a more minimalistic. Or is he just showing, he's just showing a part of it. There we go. That's pretty smooth. I like their code compare. Okay. Let's go down a little bit. As far as, let's go where we can see at least everything together. What's it putting so far down? Is that just space? Okay, let's try that again. I don't know what I was trying to get to down there. I like the feature, just kind of getting used to how it works, I guess. It's like my scrolls disappeared on that one. Okay. Oh well, of course you don't have my comments. That would make it all look different too. Because the const is up here, the express, and then the app equals express. Constant express equals require express, constant app equals express. Okay, so we got all that up there. Not worried about that. I want to line the rest of this up. The app get is 26. And it's closed. Okay. There's where he's breaking it. He's pulling out that second function of say hello to a different route. Now app, okay. App get. The base route with a variable. Okay, mount path. Mount both middleware functions. App get has name. Say hello. Okay, he's saying there's a S here. And they no longer use the parentheses. So it would say if parentheses set around all of it. So if he said anything along those lines. It's the other. Use request parameters names instead. Okay, it's not getting to the outer parentheses on his answer, but they would be just outside of what he's showing. Okay, let's try this again. So right now all we've done is change this. We took the parentheses out and added an S. And we'll do, for there to be a quick save, if I right clicked, I don't see one. Just a control, oh, no, I thought maybe this still uncompared. We'll see how that works again. Only thing, I don't see how to scroll. Seems like I should be able to go up and down. You can go side to side. But right now, one's off the top of the screen on both of them. And it's got room, so why can't I go up and see the top of that? Oh well. So we just saved this. Let's uncompare. Oh, I was trying to save it. There wasn't a quick save. There's a Control S on the keyboard. But I thought there'd be something on the right click of the mouse too. And then Control S does a save, and I've also added the Beautify plugin. But that's not what we're running. We went to 3.3 as our server last, and it's still running. Let's look at that before we close it. Desktop, chapter 3. I was curious if I did anything in there with routing or routes. We did some app configuration. We did a development. There's the routes. Just because I've already got that running on the server. App, routes. I think this one's already open too, isn't it? Yeah. Just look at that. I was trying to talk about sessions earlier. Here's one thing, last visit. So that's one thing I can use cookies and sessions for. A lot of people try and turn off their cookies because they think that's how they're being tracked, and they are, but tracking's not always a bad thing. It adds functionality to what you're trying to do. So if you want to be paranoid, you can turn off your sessions and cookies, but they actually make the software you're trying to use more useful. It's kind of like the geolocation. Yeah, it's hacking you to find out your latitude and longitude, but if you want to know your local weather, it needs to know your latitude and longitude. So whatever. There was a big paranoia about cookies when they first come out. Everybody wanted to turn them off, but they really make the browser a lot more functional. That's what they're there for. There's other places to focus on security. I mean, there are some security issues, but just turning cookies off completely isn't the place to fix them. So in their route, index server controller. So what else they got in there? Okay, we got about 4 minutes left. I can look at this later. I was just mainly curious if there's any other routes I was supposed to be putting in besides the home route on that test, because we've still got it running live. We've still got this on the server from. I don't know if there's any other places that API would go to, like if I went, I think it just says can't get. Yeah. So anyways, we'll go ahead and close that server. It's Control C. Now, if our up arrow should still have old commands. Now we'll just go back into 2. Okay, there's another one that we haven't put in yet, and it was npm update. I don't know if that would make a difference. Let's try this first. Line 10. Yep, that's what we just changed. Did I change it wrong? Probably. If it's getting an error on the thing you changed, you probably changed it wrong. What I meant was, am I using what he told me in the Stack Overflow answer? Or am I still typing it in wrong? If it's not using the parentheses either. Well, so I was talking about going blind to it. I'd already filtered out the parentheses. Should use request parameters name, and also filter stuff in, like if I think that's supposed to represent require, then I'm saying require, but it's request. So he's not got just copy that. Okay, I was gonna quit that, but it didn't even load. So just out of curiosity, let's look. Probably be a 404. This site can't be reached. Localhost refused to connect. Okay, I was just curious what that would do when there's not a server running. It's not a 404. It's just like not even running. It would have to be running to feed you the 404, I guess. Okay, time 24 and a half. All right. Back in this file. Nope. This file. Okay, we don't have parentheses. There's the period though, right? It's line 10. And we don't have Okay, that's usually what it is. It's just, you know, comma, semicolon. It's how the computer breaks things down. So let's try Control S. Let's try our same command. See, I liked it a lot better now. Alright, that was worth an extra 30 seconds. Let's go see what it looks like. Still can't get TW. So I'm going to call it quits on chapter 3. Maybe if we work past it, work around it for a while, we can get back to some understanding later. Chapter 4 is going to be Mongo. So we'll start looking at some database. Maybe if get a little further back, I'll come back and review chapter 3. We're getting the code after this to work. There's just something there. We'll see if we keep getting the same error on other code sets. It may just be an anomaly with something going on here. Actually, let's go ahead and take the TW off. Yeah, see, what is your name? We should be able to answer that by saying, but I'm not going to spend the rest of I'm just done with this for now. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take a break, and when we come back, let's look at one more thing, because he's saying to set the parameter. We're using the semicolon, so we're feeding that at. Let's try that and see what happens. Okay, server's still running, so we do Control C. Look at it again. Can't get. I'll look around. Maybe there's a video of somebody else covering the same code snippet. He's also got he did the forking. I guess we can do that. Let's go ahead and do that since we're here. I'd rather just get this done with. Let's take his rewrite and paste that in there. Actually, we had it Stack Overflow response. So we've been changing everything's line 10 as name. App get name has name. We'll save it like that for now. Trying to understand. Well, actually, no. So we're going to try his app get, app listen. Because what they're talking about, mount both middleware functions. So really this is what we're having trouble with, is mounting both middleware functions. It's like chaining. It's calling one function and passing the information through that to the next function. So rather than chaining one function into the next, he's forking them. But I'm still, even though that's not really what this chapter's been about, or this code snippet's been about, just for my own sanity, I want to see this work. Alright, let's try that now. Gotta go here first. Control C. Hello TW. So his solution works, it's just not what the book's trying to explain. So yeah, I feel better about that. What do we get to? 31. It's fine. I think I still owed you guys 10 minutes from when the babies woke up early Sunday morning. So now we can put whatever we want in there as the answer. At least we got that working. I think that's, I mean, that's still routing, which is kind of what the whole point was. I want to get back to Express and look at the routing. I understand, you know, kind of Angular's the front, Mongo's the database. Express is the glue that holds this all together, and the routing's what kind of maps you through your app. Hello, John. So this would be like whatever your, if you look at, when you log into Facebook next time, look up at your route, just try to pick it apart, see if you can't figure out where you're, because somewhere in that route it'll have your, it'll probably, instead of your name, it'll probably say your user ID, which is what it's kind of probably why we needed to cover this, because when we get into Mongo, the next video, well actually there is no codes practice for chapter 4. It talks about Mongo, but there's no code samples. So when we get back to chapter 5, I guess that's what we'll be doing. It'll have something like 775. No, I don't. 7755. Whatever. It'll have a unique ID. It'll have an entry in the database. At least it would have in SQL. That's what I need to cover on Mongo next. Is it's a NoSQL. Instead of using tables, we'll be using JSON. So it's a kind of a different way to format your data, which in turn means you've got a different structure to your database. In SQL, it's a little more strict with your data. I guess I should put all this in the next video. I don't know why I'm doing a preview now. Alright. I want to take a break. A real break. Here, stop recording.